Hello, and what's up to the world? What do we have to be thankful for? Let me count the ways. All the things that I have to be thankful for in my life, but I can always find that one thing that's nagging at me. The one thing that I need to accomplish or resolve in order to make my life complete or simplified. And sometimes it's a very simple thing. In fact, most of the time, it's a very simple thing, and such as making a phone call to someone I need to call, or answering an email, or maybe not even dealing with people, but maybe getting something accomplished, something small that I know will take an hour. And by not doing it, I find myself getting sucked into stress, and the stress usually occurs at night or in the morning when I wake up and think, oh shoot, I didn't get this done, or I need to accomplish this. And but the fear aspect, the fear is the one that really gets us, and it's not necessarily things we need to get done. When there's something nagging at us that we need to accomplish, that's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it's quite often a good thing. But when we don't resolve the issue, and we have circumstances that prevail because of that, such as I didn't make a phone call, so I lost out on this job or this money, or a relative that was going to visit and I felt guilty, and whatever it might be, those things will compound and build up to where we feel like we're inadequate, maybe, if we don't take care of things, which is why we complete things, so we can feel not pride, but satisfaction in knowing that we completed our task. And when we don't, and we have many things that build up that we haven't accomplished, or many things that we know we need to do, they will compound into a fear-based state for a lot of people. And it's not always things that we didn't do that we should do, but sometimes it's things in society that we can't do anything about. The overwhelming complexity of war and nations and humans and jobs and college and all the different things we have to think about, trying to cope with all of it. And when we take a heavy burden of life, as if it's our own, such as when we look at the world and see all the problems and we assume we have to fix them. It's a daunting task and it becomes overwhelming. It's not a good thing to practice to worry about the entire world. The world can worry about itself, in other words. Only things we should really worry or be fearful about are things that are endangering our lives or those around us. But when something endangers the world as a whole, such as the threat of nuclear war or disease, it becomes a fear-based state for society as a whole, and that society becomes fearful of the what-ifs. And that's where I draw the line in the sand. When it's something that I know I can't do anything about and something I know I can't change, then I opt out of it, and I opt out of the fear of it. And I think that that's made life a lot easier for me. But we have to analyze each situation as it comes. We can't just be ignorant of everything, and we can't just be fearless about everything. We have to have a certain degree of reason in everything we do, which makes it even more complicated. But some of the things that I see people fearful of in society are not worth the breath to be feared. Many of the conspiracy theories today lean towards ideas that can't be proven or disproven, because it's a lot easier to claim something to be true if you can't prove it or disprove it. And it's a lot easier to claim something to be not true if you can't prove it or disprove it. It's like the old, if we're talking about two people arguing over whether we should be fearful of a particular thing, say the government's doing or the people are doing, we could disagree all day about that, just like two people might disagree about whether to be fearful of God, or one person may be a Christian and another an atheist, and they could argue that all day and never have any resolution. So there's no reason to think that two people arguing whether conspiracy is valid are going to have a solution. But For me, I had to take a personal approach of just no fear. I'm not going to allow myself to be suckered into a fear-based state because it's unhealthy for me. And I found that I can motivate myself to learn without fear inducing that experience. So anyway, just some thoughts. I hope you're all doing well. Kind of testing this camera out. Maybe it'll upload, maybe it won't. Peace.